Hello, family. Welcome to Pop Woke, a weekly segment where I, producer Corey, with Future, do a weekly pop culture roundup. So, you want me to start?
Okay, yeah, you start. Okay. I've got some good stuff.
So, this is just mess. It's just mess.
Yes.
So.
Yes, mess.
Yes,
mess.
Yes, mess.
Yes.
I was reading today. No, yesterday, I think. Yeah. In Vanity Fair.
Okay.
They reported that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, he's a hot one, yeah? Prince, he's a hot one. He's the one,
He's the one who looks better than William. William was cute, and everybody loved William because he reminded us of Diana.
Yes.
But then we realized that he's just Charles.
Oh.
And then he went super bald, and not in the Bruce Willis bald way.
Oh, scary bald.
Yeah, just like...
Yeah.
Like, you want to just rearrange certain elements of his face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't land well.
Yeah.
And then I don't think he has good energy.
No,
and you can feel it on his face. Whereas Harry, you know, they might be right about them gingers just being off, but I didn't know off meant like they like niggas. Like I'm
well,
like, is that why they hate redheads so much? Is that why is that why the gingers just get hated on by the whites, the rest of them?
Yeah. There was a whole trend last year where somebody was like, gingers are the niggas of the white people.
Okay, but it was that when they banned all the DEI books, every book that had like any mention like a black kid or like a gay kid, they also took out gingers with freckles. Like there was a book that was geared, a children's book that was geared towards like embracing your freckles, and it was like the focus was on this like little orphan Annie type kid, and they pulled that from the shelves because that was diversity.
Damn, like even eugenics,
even the freckled.
His little orphan Annie. It's a hard night life. That was
She was pulling from a Negro spiritual.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, wade in the water. It was her Negro spiritual. Yeah.
Didn't Jay-Z mix that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. For us,
it's a hard knock life. For us, I listen. Me, like all the little foster kids, instead of treated, we get tricked. Instead of kisses, we get kicked.
Yeah. Banger. Jay-Z did. Oh, he's smart. He knew it. But okay, sorry. What the fuck are we even?
Markle.
So Netflix,
try to get me interested because I'm so keen on whether or not we can.
What's shady? It's just Netflix is dropping Archie Will Productions, right? They had an overall deal with Netflix for like 5 years to make scripted content.
They're not making shit.
They're not making that. That's exactly right.
I hate these companies for this.
Yeah.
This is exactly what happened with Spotify. So basically, and actually the Markles, because I don't even know Harry's last name anymore. So the Markles, like, does he have one? No, not one that matters. So the Markles and the Obamas, like they got these like exorbitant paid upfront packages.
Yep.
We're talking in the hundreds of millions each.
Yes.
Yep. Right. And they didn't make anything. So typically you have things like in these contracts, you get these deals and you have to actually make things and you get paid released upon whatever, or in the contract, there's a certain amount of episodes you have to hit, whatever. Mm-hmm. They didn't really do that. And they just assumed that having these big names would just make it all make sense. And then they would but what they failed to realize is like you paid these people a huge amount of money when they already came from money. So they don't need to work to live. And I know that's a foreign concept for most of us because it is a foreign concept.
Yes, it is
for most of us, but they just didn't. And so now you've got a company that isn't making the money it put into it.
Yep.
The podcast bubble burst because it was never supposed to make money. It's actually one of the only democratized, yapping fucking things of mediums, I suppose. But we all got effed in the A so that they all could get paid, even though they're so okay. I'm like, put the investment in people who need to work, who want to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
and who arguably have more interesting concepts. So the issue with the Markle Prince
Yeah,
Harry,
because like, what's the deal with the Netflix things? They're really secretive.
so yeah, they don't share their metrics, by the way.
No, they're super secretive.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So they'll dump money into a project,
Mhm.
and then when that project loses money, they'll be like, all right, nothing happened, bye. Like, that's what they'll do. So with the Markle, the Archie Productions, because they named it after their obviously firstborn post, royal split or whatever.
Yeah.
They were supposed to make scripted content, never did. And the stuff that they did make was just a rehashing of this black woman.
Because she was doing a cooking show.
Okay.
Right?
So Netflix's chief concern,
Uh,
it's multiple things.
okay.
So obviously the Meghan and Harry mini docuseries came out, right? And that was wildly successful. And they were like, okay, cool, we love this. But their issue was that both Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were doing deals outside of Netflix. So, Harry had his book called Spare, where he was like, I'm snitching on all you royal niggas. They were like, hey, do you think that maybe that book can come out after the thing that you have with us? So that way they get all the tea from
and
us.
Harry said, I have been called to action by a power higher than myself. Yeah.
Meghan Markle did that famous Oprah interview. Remember, Oprah was like, were you silent or were you silenced? She ate with that kind of. She ate with that.
She's fucking over.
So
she's like the best to ever do it. Yeah.
She just be saying shit.
Yeah.
It's not even about the person. It's about her.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I'm gonna eat with this.
Every
She
time
was like,
somebody
okay.
is like, no. Did you know that Oprah gets her receipts changed every day? Like, isn't that? And I was like, that sounds ideal.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah. Like, I have a weakness for Oprah. I do. I have an absolute weakness. I'm just like, all rules, like all my rules can be like this.
Right.
And then here come a little Negro wave, just a little kink in the lineup.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
I love how she pretends she's not a billionaire. But so, the famous interview with Oprah or whatever came out, and Netflix was like, hey, did you not want to do it with us? Like, you're giving Oprah and CBS, our main competitor, airtime. And that interview was watched by.
We don't even like CBS right now. Get your shit together. Yeah.
So all that happened, and then she's trying to do her Goop style shit. It's called like Be Well or whatever it is. Or
she's doing that now.
Well, not successfully. That's
what happened to philanthropy? What happened to? Do you remember that? Like, there was an expectation. It was actually baked into.
Yeah.
Like, wealthy circles. You had to be a philanthropist. You had to be a patron of the arts. You had to. That's what made these things make sense. Like, it was the exchange. I mean, obviously the concentration of wealth, but that was old money.
Right.
It's weird to yearn for the times of old money on some level, but they had such immense respect for the arts, and new money is informed by late stage capitalism. It is the antithesis of all things that make life worth living. It's all about wealth hoarding. It's all about individuality and stuff. And it's just interesting because you had such a robust working class. Like, it wasn't because rich people were like, we just feel really good about, and we know. No, it was the culture that was a set of expectations. It was a social contract. Yeah. And we have no social contracts anymore.
Well, because we don't have any social aspects anymore. It's just like they want to do their own thing in the mountains. That's what it is. Yeah.
Look, I'm like, no, it's not in the mountains. It's underground in their bunkers. They're designing bunkers, and I think I've talked. I hope I've already talked at length about how it. Yeah. I've done the person who designs, and he's like the head guy.
He's like, I did all this.
Yeah, and he was just like, it's not going to work.
What's going to stop us?
The science
from cementing over the door.
Okay, first of all, that's really funny. They will keep it secret from us. I'm like, RuPaul, where is it? I know you're in Wisconsin, bitch.
Totally.
He's building a bunker in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, next to fracking.
I believe is quite large.
Yes.
And I would like to know where. No, we could do that. But here's the thing. The number one issue that they all have, the number one question, this is the guy who designs it. It's the guy who helps build the infrastructure, the blueprints, answers the questions. He's a security expert. He's he's an engineer.
Wait,
the number one question. Yeah. Guess.
Okay. So
I love this. Yeah. Guess.
So in a doomsday situation.
Right. So this is their, it's not, it's more like the bunker itself. Right. So what are the number one concern for life or running life inside the bunker.
Oh, wait. Okay, so I'm obsessed with like post-apocalyptic shows and stuff,
Mhm.
and always what happens usually toward the middle or the end of the season
Yeah.
is like staff turns on you.
That's exactly.
I fucking
And it's
knew
the
it.
security.
I fucking knew it.
Because
I fucking
and I'm
knew it.
like, that's so interesting. Like, you have built this thing that is essentially impenetrable. It's ideally
Mm-hmm.
hundreds or at least like 60 to 100 feet, like underground. Like, it's really underground.
Totally.
It's hidden. And you'd also have security inside. Like, what does that say about the culture that you're creating? I'm like, but then, you know, look at the fucking Murdochs.
Yeah.
But what does it say about the culture? What does it say about like scarcity?
Right.
Like, you're literally in a bunker. Like, that assumes that the worst possible thing has happened. But right down to the science of it, like for one, that's not singularly why, it's all money gimmick.
Right.
But there's a singular focus on this, on like building the bunker, right? It's, to me, I'm like, it's a tomb.
It's a tomb.
It's a tomb.
It's a tomb. It totally is a tomb.
It's a weird fucking tomb.
Yeah.
But this is what gets me. Like, it's not sustainable, and not because, oh, it's cut out from humanity. I mean, literally in the bubble, it's not sustainable because if we don't have the technology to support that. So if anything
Right.
were to happen, the things that happen every day, but if anything like were to happen to the irrigation system, you're fucked. You're done.
That's
you're
it.
done. And he was like, it could be something as small as some sort of, you know, this isn't the word they use, but I can't. Like, I want to say germ or I want to say bacteria.
Sure.
But let's just say, you know, he said anything could get in there and contaminate. It's like contamination, essentially.
Right.
And you would have, there's no means to repair because
you're in a bunker.
You're in a bunker. You're in a fucking bunker and you're underground.
Yeah.
You're literal mole people. And it's the fact that, like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why fantasize about the end of the world?
Yeah.
You could literally just redistribute. And I'm not saying that the answer is just to hand things over to government. Like, in my fantasy, we are the right people are running it, the scientists and the engineers and like the environmentalists
and the lesbians,
the smart people, the teachers. Yeah, the lesbians and the gays. We already know, right? Like, all design, yes, all structures,
absolutely.
The lesbians, right?
100%.
But like specifically the dykes and the butches, like
100%.
But not
absolutely.
New gen dykes or butches. Because they are too busy contesting whether or not women who love women, that's how they say it, WLW, right? Whether or not wearing strap-ons can, whether or not you can still identify as a lesbian if you've ever used strap-ons. They're doing that. That's the work that they're doing right now.
Long story short, Netflix is sick of the Marcos recycling the same old "we left a royal" story, and they're like, "Hey y'all, bye."
I think what had happened was like, because we were like, "Oh my god!"
Right, for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, because like you chose a black girl. I mean, just, but you know, but you should like he rejected all this stuff,
right?
And, you know, I appreciated the story. I appreciated what it feels like to walk away from largesse. I don't know what that's like. But I know that you also walked into largesse, just slightly less large, or just like less large in general, because they own a lot. Like,
a lot.
They own so much.
Yep.
Like, the monarchy, the English monarchy, and the Roman Catholic Church own so much. So, like, remember when we were reading, where we would, like, read, and they'd be like, no, in this war with the Spaniards, and they did this over there, and they did it, and we're just like, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, all of that came with stuff.
Yeah, totally.
And they still have that stuff.
Yeah.
And that stuff is in the billions and billions and billions. Yeah. And Charles actually has grown their wealth because because his mom was running shit for so long that we forgot that his ugly ass was around.
Yes.
And he used them ears to just lock in to, we're talking like algos, we're talking about stocks and investments, and he just accumulated an absurd amount of wealth by leveraging the wealth that they already have. So that's what he spent.
With Camilla.
Listen, That was the, you know what?
Camila.
That's when I really understood love is love, because I don't know how you could have that brilliant, beautiful, insane woman with a heart of gold. I am so biased towards Diana because my mom absolutely loved her.
I'm gay. I love her.
Yeah, my mom adored
Yeah.
Princess Diana. And all I can think of is like, this bitch was hugging the untouchables all the time. Like, she just threw herself into that. And then, you know, she was performing. Everything's a performance, bitch.
Yes.
Perform it in a way that makes somebody else's life better.
Right.
In some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like, and while she was going through what she was going through, I'm like, for you to choose Camilla, I can't explain it. I can't explain it. But I have never felt more homophobia than in that moment. I can't explain.
Oh. You know, speaking of homophobia, you know that there's this really fun story that Freddie Mercury, the lead singer of Queen,
you don't need to tell me that.
Okay, well,
you don't need to tell us.
Well, Freddie Mercury, on a night out in London, dressed up Princess Diana in boy drag and took her to the gay clubs.
Oh, she cleaned up. That is a twink if I've ever seen one. Yeah, she had good shoulders. She had good shoulders, and she had a fantastic jawline.
She had. You know,
I think I'm trending towards androgyny again.
You're trying to bring it back. Okay.
Yeah, because it never left me. Unfortunately, I have, I have so much testosterone.
Okay.
Inside of my veins, and I'm just marginally less pretty than I was. There's no.
Okay.
Where's the boy? Where's the man? I went from boys to tomboy. Like, that's.
Oh, you thought you was gonna look like Terry Crews or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
darker, but in my fantasy. But let's just say if that wasn't the case, I can't. Okay.
Well, T changes your melanin.
It doesn't. But in my head,
okay.
But I can forgive that because that's neither here nor there, because we got bigger things to fry.
You have one. You have something for me, yes?
I do. Lindy West. What do you know about a Lindy?
I know that she has bangs.
Yeah. Does she still have them? I think she used to.
Then nothing.
Oh. Okay. This is real millennial shit. Have you ever watched Shrill?
Yes. Oh, she's the showrunner, creator of Shrill. Got it.
She created Shrill.
Yeah.
It was based on a book that she wrote. So, like, let me just give you the breakdown, because I'm about to.
Right. Oh, God.
Oh, gosh. I am having, like, there's a lot of Lindy West discourse right now. But I think in order to understand what's going on, because she just put a book out.
Okay.
And her book is called Adult Braces.
Okay.
Okay. Great title.
Yeah. What's the subject
matter? And I
kind
of get it, because I'm like, yeah, it's painful.
Okay.
So, okay. It's, oh boy. Okay. So you don't know who Lindy West is. You know, and you go ahead and watch the show. It's a good show, but like, she was that fat bitch,
right? That
fat millennial, like hardcore feminist bitch who just did not give a shit about the male gaze. Like, it was new. She wasn't apologetic about her body size. But she didn't make less of what she endured as a fat woman in public.
Okay.
And I should just say point blank, I just let everybody know right now, I love fat bitches. Give me a Rubenesque form. I really would form a crusade against GLP-1s if I also didn't know that they did amazing things for some people. But bring back fat bitches. I miss normal sized women. I love, like, bring back Rubenesque forms. Bring it back. But anywho,
this is something that I know about you, by the way.
Yes,
it's true.
It is well known.
Yes, this is
like, what am I going to do with what am I going to do with a
totally two chicken bones clacking?
Yeah. Just hit bones everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be like, oh my God.
What's that sound?
Is there hail? Is it hailing outside?
Who's checking the bag of chicken bones? Yeah, totally.
Is that global warming? Somebody said, is Azalea Banks doing a reading in a closet?
In the chicken closet! The chicken closet! Okay. But you know what? Did any of it work for Azalea Banks? Anyway, another topic for
another day. But oh gosh, one day we should do a whole thing on Azalea.
Because
she's so fucking important.
Yeah, I think so too.
She's so important.
Yeah.
And the Israel stuff drives me nuts. But I'm like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the good and the bad. Oh, she's REA.
She's our yay.
She's our yay.
I say that all the time.
She's girl yay.
Yeah.
And like you have to know that just point blank, if you put girl there, like there's a higher level of
Yes.
Right?
Mhm.
Wherewithal, a higher level of calculation,
Yes.
of intention, even though you still a little crazy in the eye.
A little.
A lot.
Jesus Christ.
So Lindy.
Yes.
Like, hold on. I'm going to pull this shit up from 2016 because what I'm about to tell you, you're not going to believe. Okay. So I just want to give you a glimpse because Shrill was great.
Yeah, I watched the first like 4 episodes.
But this was who she was. Okay. So this was this article was almost 10 years ago.
Okay.
3 things that need to happen before I defend men from Olympic sexism. This is by Lindy West. Okay. Internet stragglers complain about horny PC feminazis complaining about sexist TV coverage while ogling male Olympians. Here's the difference. So stupid. Gosh, what was that? 2016? We didn't know.
2016. Oh, what a year.
And it's I mean, I know everyone kind of talks about it, but what is true is that so much of the manosphere exists because bitches started talking. Like, because they were talking and they were finally saying, this is happening to me. This is before Me Too. Me Too is like usually the justification, but it was because of the feminist backlash. Like, it started so much earlier than that.
Yeah.
Me Too gave them justification, the incels, etc., to say that, see, it is a witch hunt.
Yeah.
But prior to that, they really didn't like that women were seen, visible, talking about what was happening to them, etc. They really hated it. So this is funny because she actually broke it down. She writes. Then she goes, these are the conditions. I will go to the mat protesting about male objectification as soon as the following 3 criteria are met.
Okay.
When sexualized analysis of men's bodies begins to obscure men's achievements and negatively affect their careers. When the objectification of men's bodies begins to make their lives unsafe. When I hear men bring up their own objectification as anything other than a disingenuous attempt to undermine women advocating for themselves. So she was
she's cooking.
She was this bitch. She was that bitch.
Yeah.
Right? Like she was for the white millennial woman.
Totally.
She was a very important voice. Yeah. And in terms of like contemporary feminist discourse.
Okay.
She was very, very informative because Lindy helped to, and this is why this is so insane what I'm about to say after this. Lindy, I believe, was one of the singular pillars about normalizing. It doesn't mean it's her stuff. Like she didn't necessarily come up with this, but she normalized it for the millennial generation. The idea that you could be indifferent to the male gaze, that you didn't have to contort yourself, that you could love women and love yourself and still be attracted to men and still have a boyfriend without losing who you were, without destroying your body to meet some insane standards. Like,
you can be a human and pass the Bechdel test.
Correct. Like, she's the byproduct of girls. She's the byproduct of like,
got it.
Like her, Lena Dunham, like there was this thing that was happening. And remember how like massive it was that Lena Dunham was naked and her body was just normal. Yep. You know what I mean? She's had a normal person's body, a normal woman's body, and it was beautiful. Yeah. And she didn't care, like, because it's normal. She took her shirt off, she took her clothes off, titties out all the time on that show. Perfect, Yeah. We got, what's his name? Adam whatever, that giant man. Never in a shirt, throwing himself all over the place, screaming all over the time. We can deal with that, but a bitch talking? Absolutely not, right? So she was, her thing was, fuck your male gaze. Like, that was it. Okay, so a lot of people, but here's the thing. In adult braces, it's very different. You're getting a very different story. So a few years now have passed, and I'm like, why is everybody so mad at Lee? Like, Lee, what's going on? Because I know I hadn't read adult braces yet. So
what?
There's an interview that comes out, and this is the name, and so this was the piece that set off a trillion think pieces and has just the girls in disarray.
Okay.
Lindy West thought she couldn't handle polyamory. She was wrong. I actually think that she was right. So let me explain. Okay?
Please do.
I know. I'm just going to read some things. That, like, because it's her back and forth in this interview.
All right, brace yourselves, everybody.
You kind of do. Okay, so she married the guy who was the love of her life.
Okay.
He goes by Aham.
Okay.
Who?
Of course he
Aham
does.
Oh.
You have many strengths.
Oluo. Alohu.
I will take your word for it.
Ijoma's brother. He's Ijoma's brother. Ijoma Alohu. So he's biracial, tall.
Uh-huh.
Okay. These the tall not so much, but maybe it'll make sense to some of the birds out there who can forgive certain things for height.
You can murder a man.
I just want to. So these are not my words, okay?
Okay.
These are her words. So
go ahead. No.
This is important context, okay? So Anna Martin is the interviewer. Lindy, towards the end of your first book, Shrill, you get married to your husband, Aham. Finding love, always a big deal, but when you and Aham got together, it was a particularly big deal for you. Can you tell me why? Lindy, I haven't thought about this in such a long time, but I had always kind of a lonely and single and sad. I'm reading too fast because I'm so eager to get to the point. So let me actually just slow this down because what she says matters. I haven't thought about this in such a long time, but I had always been kind of lonely and single and sad and yearning. And growing up in a fat body, people tell you no one will ever love you unless you fix your body. Then, being a very visible woman on the internet, right? Because she was part of that blog era.
Right.
Strangers are just telling you that every single day.
Yeah.
So there's just all this baggage around it. But really, at heart, Aham and I just love each other so much. And I think we both kind of knew that we couldn't imagine a life without the other person. On some level, he wanted to give me that big proposal, big wedding, and I thought I would never get to have that because it healed something in me, right? So then she goes, when you got married, what did you hope your future would look like?
Oh.
I think I just imagined that we would stay on this sort of traditional track. Super interesting, right? But those desires are not in contradiction to feminism.
Right. Well,
you know what? No, they aren't, but they end up replicating.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like they don't have
Yep.
to be, but somehow it just always ends up that way.
Goes back to trad wife.
Right?
Yep.
Because the left has a massive misogyny problem that I would say is actually at par with the right, but for the fact that that leftist men will always fight for the rights of women.
Yes.
Just not hard.
Not hard. Not
right.
hard.
But changing the conditions and the treatment and what women represent. Like I've always said, one of the, I feel like, inner secrets I learned is that, like, as a person on testosterone, I was sort of like, I don't know, I can't explain it, but I just became, there's just a new level of awareness. Men, maybe there was a level of openness too, right? Because men sort of like, I don't know, I'm like the Hotep whisperer. Like, men love me. And probably because they know I love them, right?
Yeah.
But I don't love them more than I love women.
Right.
You know what I mean? I like people.
Right.
And I'm interested in, the performances for different reasons. And I'm too often repelled by divert. Like there was this video that was going around and it was like, I think them was trying to do like that whole line thing, go on this side or whatever. So like you can be feminine and still be masculine of center. And all these young, like stud types, queer type, like went on one side, and there was a lone aged butch that was like, I'm not about none of that shit. You never, like, I'm masculine. You know when black people stutter because they're so they're just passionate about it. Only masculine here. Only masculine here. I'm like, I understand this. I appreciate this. Because I don't care how anybody identifies. That's okay to me. Because there's nothing wrong with having contradictions.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you just have to know them and then not impose them on other people. It's really
That's
simple.
The important part.
Like, I find my contradictions so funny because they're so fucking niche. Yeah. Like, I like gay men having sex with other men. Like, that makes sense to me, right? Yeah. It looks good.
Well,
right. You know, looks porn.
They're trying to kill each other. I think.
I'm a hentai guy, but it looks good. Okay, yeah. I'm just saying I'm not repulsed by men.
You should be
like messing with other men, loving other men penetrating other men. None of that. Gross. But a trans man that goes gay, The homophobia hit me so hard and so fast. Like, I might be the only person who found out I was homophobic by becoming trans, because I said there's something in the juice. Too many of these niggas was going gay, only dated women, and then they get on the testosterone, and suddenly they're just man crazy, and they go gay. And I'm like, there's something in the juice. And I was so terrified that something was gonna. Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense. What did two gay men have in common? The testosterone.
The testosterone.
So something in the tea.
Yeah. There's something in the tea.
But there's a high probability of these trans men that suddenly find themselves like exclusively being attracted to men. But
that's interesting. I know about two.
I am so homophobic about them. Like, I can't even, like, not if you always, like, KR is a homie. Everybody who listens to the show from OG times at least knows KR is a huge faggot.
Yes.
Has always been a faggot, identifies as a faggot, like, is a trans guy that loves men.
Yes.
And has always loved men, romantically and sexually. Fine with it. But if you switched, that's where my homophobia is niche. I like to think of it as expert level homophobia. So just like the old racists, right? The racists who could tell you, that person's not Chinese, that is a Cambodian. And I know because I bombed their people.
Totally. Yeah.
Those people were expert level. They took their racism seriously. Yeah. There was pageantry involved in it. They were committed.
Due diligence. There was knowledge. They
sewed things.
Totally. Yeah.
Emblems onto other things.
You're right, because like racism that's dumb is annoying.
It is.
Yeah.
Like what is that fucking? Oh my god, that looks Mexican guy clap. Yeah, because Indians have poop genes, and that's just normal now, like, and that's become like, I can't stand it because it doesn't even try to mask its stupidity anymore.
Yep.
I mean, if you get a Nick Fuentes, like they try to frame it in like race science, and so does the likes of Elon Musk. But anyway, that is how I found out. Like, I am so niche homophobic.
That's crazy.
I literally am like, like, I have a visceral reaction.
That's crazy.
Wait, here's my favorite part, and then we'll get back to Lindy. But it's funny. I hide it. I hide my homophobia because I'm mischievous in feminism. This is what I say, because I haven't figured out what to do with it yet. So this is what I say. Because I once said it. Like, because we all know that I always sound a little homophobic. Like, something about the way I say faggot. I don't know if it's the way I emphasize the F, but it does sound a bit homophobic.
Well, here's what it is. You're also pointing at somebody when you're saying it. That's what it is. I don't know.
You may have you actually.
You're just like pointing it and yelling at somebody when you're saying it. So that's why it's crazy.
You really have a point.
That's what it is, I think.
And I'm just going to, this is the last thing I'm going to say, and it is the most homophobic thing I can say.
Oh my God.
It just seems like an awful long way to go to end up in the exact same place.
Oh my God.
Like, so anywho, back to women. Ooh. So yes, it's not that.
I gotta go, y'all.
It's not that. You can't. It's not that feminism and marriage can't be intertwined. Right. But that person's commitment to it has, like, essentially has to be built into the culture of your dynamic, and it just backslides so quickly. Like, I've actually not seen it work, but those dynamics exist in almost every masculine feminine dynamic.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and it just takes two very mature people to deal with that. So this is how it happened here. Right? So this is what you thought. We were going to, say traditional track. I thought we would probably have a baby and buy a house and continue to work together. AM is an artist, and I work on his shows, and he helps me a lot with my writing. And I think I envisioned a classic happy marriage. I thought we would just have a great time for the rest of our life. To be honest, I totally get, because there's nothing wrong. I have a very traditional relationship to women. Like,
yes, that's true.
It's just that I really own the traditional dynamic of what I believe is an alpha male, which is why I troll niggas all the time. When I go into a comedy club that is a standard, I look and I say, is there any alphas in the room? Because if there were, my titties would grow back. And and they don't.
That's fucking funny.
So,
That's funny.
but it's like, and you have to know, like, all these trans, that's why I think trans men just drive me nuts, because you don't get to pick and choose the tenets of like what your masculinity is when you expect all femmes to be your mother. Okay, let me just get to, here we go. Because that was good, because I could talk about that shit all day. But it's partly because I already know what's happening in my head because of this, and I haven't brought you up to speed. So thank you.
Right, I'm like,
no, literally.
Like, what did she do?
Okay, this is okay. So I'm gonna say it, and then I'm gonna tell you how she said it.
Okay.
Basically, they get married. He says, "Hey, I want to talk about polyamory."
Oh, well,
she says, "I have no interest in that."
Correct.
I have zero interest in that, and the thought alone makes me feel insane and crazy and unwanted and insecure. No. That's
right.
Lindy is very clear about that. She has no interest in it. She doesn't want it. He apparently, actually, we don't even need to do this because I'm saying this pretty accurately.
Yeah.
So he's frustrated. He's tried to bring it up before, and for her, it's like as soon as the conversation comes up, she's just like, "I can't deal with this." She shuts it down, moves on, because it is such an attack against her personhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Why can't the world just be them, right? And the life that they're created. He keeps insisting on it. She keeps not engaging. So then she finds out from a stranger on IG that somebody who looks suspiciously like Aham was just seen kissing a woman.
What?
So she confronts him, and he goes, "Yeah."
Whoa.
Because you wouldn't talk to me about it. And so this is something, your needs can't supersede mine.
What?
And
what the fuck?
Okay. So it's so okay. So now we could Martin asked, was it presented as sort of like, we can get back together if we are non-monogamous? So they broke up for a little bit because of it.
Right. Okay.
You know, she was like, I was feeling possessiveness and jealousy. And that had a lot to do with their relationship collapsing. She said, I don't think that monogamy is healthy. Basically, it was like, I don't feel like monogamy is healthy for me. They break up for a little bit, get back together. Right? She goes, you know, how has all these reasons which make intellectual sense, but emotionally, how was this hitting you? Yes, it made intellectual sense to me. And in fact, it had always made intellectual sense to me. I was like, I understand how this works and why people do this. I don't personally have the self-esteem to cope. So she's very clear about her boundaries as it pertains to polyamory.
Right.
There is nothing wrong with not wanting polyamory. At one point, it was like, I remember getting in a fight with like 2 to 3 bitches that I was with.
Uh-huh.
I have to like take the comedy hat off sometimes. It's the worlds are just like this now. I just need to make sure I say women, birds, and bitches equal to each other.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, niggas, dickheads, losers, incels, they're balanced out. Just they don't slap the same. But you know, it's not for everybody, and I think it's seen as some personal failure.
Yeah.
But to me, that's correct. Like, it's okay to not want. I personally can't deal with more than one because I'm a service top.
I know that about you, famously.
Yeah.
So polyamory, I don't know that I have the attention span for that. Do you know what I mean?
Not you.
Open.
Not you saying ADHD.
I can't. I just can't. Being open, great, love that. If we're 2 different states, who cares?
Wait, so open and poly
different.
Different.
So open is, to my understanding, and all the freaks and nasty bitches in the comments can agree or disagree. Open relationship, as I understand it, means that you are with a partner and you are non-monogamous, which means you sleep with different people, you sleep with people together. There's like a sexual element where you're having sex with other people outside the relationship.
So that is open.
That's open.
Got it.
Polyamory is you're in whole ass relationships with other people, and it doesn't necessarily intersex,
and it can be tiered or not tiered.
Correct. So like, if you and I were together, if we were poly, that could mean that I'm dating another person, you're dating another person, but that does not necessarily always mean that those people are also dating like crisscross.
Got it.
It can, but it doesn't always mean that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a performative thing that happened in all queer relationships in the aughts. You know what I mean? Where you had to like in the late aughts, where you had to decide whether or not you guys should be poly or not. And I'm just like, nobody wanted it. I've never seen it done well except for once. Except for once. And it's Nalo Hopkinson, the author. Oh, okay. Like her and her dude. They're very Two Rivers.
Yeah.
This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But when I discovered how long that they had been practicing this, I was like, and I'm making a joke. I don't actually know this about Nalo, but I just feel like a lot of like Black women authors are just notoriously squirrely and don't like the public.
Work.
And I'm like, I think it works if the person is a recluse. Like I think I think it could really work if one person is a recluse.
It works when there's communication.
Wait, that too.
But because it forces you to over communicate.
Yes,
because if jealousy comes up, if like anger comes up, you have to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm a yapper, and I'm like, more.
Yeah.
The idea of more.
Yeah.
You know,
you're checking in with your person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it stands to reason. How would one of the penultimate feminists of the millennial generation respond to finding out that her partner had cheated on her? Right, because that's what it was. There was there was no hey.
There was no agreement.
Yeah, there was no conversation. There was no, excuse me, Lindy, my wife.
Totally.
I'm going to go kiss a bitch right now because you won't have this conversation with me. It was something else. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's crazy.
So Wes said, so when they got back into this relationship, you know, prior to this happening, Martin, the interviewer, asked, was it presented as sort of, we can get back together if we are non-monogamous? Was it like a conditional thing? Because they're basically trying to ascertain, like, how did this come to be?
Oh, God.
So Wes says, yes, basically, it wasn't him saying, I'm going to go out and date people. But anyway, we were a couple who loved each other desperately getting back together. So this was not a moment when either of us was like, oh, I want to go out and find someone else. Because, you know, this was back in the day, because they broke up for a while, for a small period of time in like 2011. So now we're way fast forward. Okay. Where we landed was, if we want to be together for the rest of our lives, who knows what's going to happen in 10 years, 20 years, who we're going to meet, or how we're going to feel. Once it was reframed as something we were going to deal with eventually, and I love to procrastinate, I love to put this, eventually is the operative word. So she goes, Martin goes, you're kicking the can of this relationship definition. And Wes says, which is so unfair to him.
Niggas.
Because he really was telling me something that was important to him, and I always heard it as an obstacle that I could wear down and overcome. Like, I just need to be the best girlfriend so that he doesn't want this stupid thing anymore. And Aham tried so hard to get me to actually engage with this emotionally. He warned me that my tendency to avoid hard things was going to be a little bit poisonous in the relationship. And I do think it did slow damage because I was always dreading that time was going to come. So every time Aham initiated any kind of hard conversation, even if it was just like, you need to do the dishes right after you cook, I would react like someone was chasing me with a knife. That actually, that's Lindy. Like, that's the Lindy I know.
Yeah.
The writing and, you know,
that's
and
funny.
She's still gregarious and all the other things and incredibly vulnerable in this. So I don't want to slam her. But I'm okay with all of this. I tend to be around, most people are conflict avoidant. Sure. I am the opposite of that.
Yeah, same.
I have to, but I'm not confrontational.
Correct.
Or I am. What is
okay, so this is how I would perceive it. This is my read. I don't think you're confrontational, at least in the vitriolic or mean or evil sense.
Yeah.
I think you're most like, this does not make sense to me. The thing that you are asserting is something I know to be incorrect. I'm going to have a dialogue about this, regardless of whether or not you're ready for it, which I find very funny. But you're like, these are the things that I know to be true because you work in abject reality, which I appreciate. And it's not necessarily, I think what turns people off is that you're like, no, this is happening. You're like, because we can't move forward in ambiguity.
The thing up.
Exactly.
And you know, there's a carelessness with that. Now we don't get to run away.
Right. But people like to. So like when you don't
yes.
let people do
Yeah.
it, they feel really
I get like like they feel resentful.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is yes.
Mhm.
One thing I don't do, I don't judge emotions. I
Right.
judge mine, but never other
Right.
people's
Mhm.
because they're not you.
Right.
They're reactions that stem from all these kinds of places,
Right.
and they can be really informative.
Yeah.
But they ought not to be trusted.
Right.
So when she's talking about this, like, the avoidancy and the
Mhm.
repression, and then the overreaction and the need to be a perfect partner, a perfect girlfriend specifically, I've experienced this in women.
Yeah.
Like, so I know, and this comes down to the conditioning, right? It's like, it's not, it's just interesting, right? It's an obstacle that I could wear down and overcome. So that was first. She's saying I could wear this down and
Okay.
overcome it,
Right.
but that would require confrontation. What she did was her response to that was like, I just need to be the best girlfriend. That's socialization. It's not, I can wear this down and overcome it, not by confronting it head on, not by providing alternatives, not by fighting you on this, because men wear women down by constantly fighting them on it, constantly reiterating the same point over and over and over.
So her thing was like, I need to be the best girlfriend, so maybe he will stop wanting this.
Somebody else.
Yeah.
And that is the most, that is so singularly the way that women are and girls are socialized, which is if something is wrong, you need to be better.
Yeah.
You need to go right.
Yeah.
You need to go 100% right.
Yeah.
Whereas men are very much socialized to be like, something's wrong, it's your fault.
Right.
Whoever if I feel sad, you did it to me. Somebody did this to me. The idea that you could just be sad.
Yeah.
Or that there are these like larger systemic forces
right.
that are informing a really shitty quality of life for the vast majority of people. It's like, no, it is your fault. And
right.
And whose fault is it always? Women.
Right.
It's always women's fault. Right.
Yeah.
So I found that to be fucking fascinating. I was like, yikes. But I had to keep going.
Yes.
So get this, right? So Martin says every conversation was like the big one. Like he'd be like, I've met someone or I'm dating someone. West goes, yes. Like Lindy's like, yes, this is what I was afraid of. So Martin says, but then there comes a point where you can't avoid it. Tell me about the moment you found out that Aham was dating someone else. Bitch.
Okay. That's
2019.
Okay.
I find out that someone who knew what Aham looked like had seen him kissing someone at a bar. I went home and we talked for the rest of the night. And at this point, he had sort of come to the conclusion that we couldn't resolve this. Here's why he went ahead and started dating this person. Because sorry, there's no question mark there. Which is why he went ahead and started dating this person, because I had been gone. I had refused to talk to him about it, and I had technically agreed to be non-monogamous. I had technically agreed to be non-monogamous. It's the fact that he didn't say to her, and I'm going to kiss somebody else now.
And then she's like, well, I guess technically.
This part to me made me sad. Because it shows what, and this is where, because some people are being ridiculous about their take, but to be honest, it's women. It's overwhelmingly women who are weighing in. Unless you're that like lefty white boy who writes for The Atlantic.
Right.
I'd be liking him sometimes. He's like on point, Tyler or something.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't, but it's overwhelmingly been women. It's overwhelmingly been like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, it's okay. There's more to it, right?
Oh God.
There's more to the story.
Yeah.
But if you want me to wrap it quick, I can. Do you want me to? Or
yeah, I want to, because I want to hear the whole thing. I want to.
Okay, then you know what?
I want the mess.
So let me just say what else she said.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna actually just do the story, because I'm like, what the fuck? So he doesn't. This is the thing that pisses me. He didn't tell her. I'm like, everything that he said was correct.
Right.
Right. You were non-engagement. You turned away from me. If somebody's freaking out over, hey, could you wash the dishes?
Yeah.
And losing it, that's not a person that's present with you.
Right.
All of that is correct. She needed a catalyst, man. She needed to know that, hey, this is my date outfit. Totally. I'm gonna go meet my date right now.
And he was like, well.
And deal with her rage, deal with her anger, deal with her fighting, because that's what you do when you love somebody.
I was gonna just
say, that's the cost you have to pay.
Are you not in a relationship with this person?
You can totally own your agency and go and whatever, but you have to allow that person to confront and make a choice before the thing happens.
Exactly.
And if you know that it is a non-negotiable for you, then and she can't, then break up with her. But you wanted all of it,
right?
And well, you have to ask yourself, well, what does one of the most famous American feminists do in this situation?
Oh Lord.
Martin asked, did you feel like you were losing him? She goes, yeah, I think it felt like I was losing him, but I was just determined to win. I was like, you're being crazy. I'm the greatest person alive, because I also have high self-esteem in addition to low self-esteem. I let myself be angry in every possible direction, which was actually cathartic. At a certain point, did you ask more questions about the person he was seeing? Nope. Well, I think I was like, don't tell me anything about the stupid person I don't want to know. I was like full child self, having a tantrum. I was like, is she prettier than me? Do you love her more than me? Do you guys laugh at me? Where I'm going to go with this, I'm going to start cooking it. Do you remember what he said to that question? He said, no. He said, she's a really good person and you're just different. You're my wife. I don't love anybody more than you. Did that feel true to you in that moment? She says, yes, I just didn't understand. I was like, man, we found the best thing. We're best friends. We get to hang out every day. Why do you want to fuck it up, dude? So I'm like, oh, we're trending in the right direction. This is good.
Yeah.
We're trending in the right direction. You're having the appropriate response, right?
I'm cautiously.
So West goes, and this is important. This is why I was like, let me go through this so that like when I go through the fast details, then we know who these people are.
Okay.
He told me that her name was Roya, and she was one of the artistic directors of a venue in Portland that had put on one of his shows.
Of course.
So I actually met her, and she was so nice, and she was just a tiny little beautiful goth, just very much an inverse of me in a lot of ways, and of course in ways that made me feel wildly insecure.
Boy. Yeah.
So Aham sat you down and was like, I need to tell you more about who this person is. West goes, yeah, because her best friend died and she needed her support system there. And so he had to go to Portland to be with her. And I remember being mad at him, and she said, I'm not ready. But then being like, I don't want to be the kind of person that says someone important to you is in unimaginable pain, and I'm going to petulantly say, no, you need to stay here with me. That is correct.
Yeah.
Her self-check is correct.
Sure.
But for the fact that the betrayal has not been addressed. So, you don't want to be, and again, I don't want to be this kind of person. I don't want to cause these kinds of problems. And I agree, like when something awful happens to somebody, you should trust, but you broke the trust. So now it's
nigga, people die.
Okay.
Bring your ass up. There's no way I'm letting you travel to go be with this goth bitch whose mom died. Rest in peace. Right. Great. We've not figured out anything at home. And you about to leave. You're like, bye. Like, fuck you.
The way that it was figured out.
That's crazy.
She's in my life.
And I'm just a bitch on the side making the biscuits.
So she said, I don't want to petulantly say, no, you need to stay here with me, right? And to be clear, I'm not ready is okay.
Yeah.
It is appropriate.
Yeah.
This is why you don't do dumb shit like break trust like that. So that when you say I need to go, the person actually has a strong counter narrative, but I'm not looking at that. She goes, we were technically non-monks. No, you weren't. You had conversations about the fact that eventually you would be open to the possibility of it.
He said eventually it's tomorrow at 10 a.m.
He said that's what he said.
Yeah.
It actually eventually was yesterday.
Totally.
Because he didn't tell her. She found out from a person on Instagram.
That's my 13th reason. He
never told her.
I'm killing that man.
This is the thing that drives me nuts. Like, this is, first of all, a biracial.
Say less. Say less.
This is what you're going to love.
Say less. That you should have started with, you should have led with that.
In the Ijoma's brother, though, so she's biracial. Here's what's incredible. And that's not, like, everybody got Asian brothers. That ain't it.
I mean, hello.
I mean, for all I know, though, she doesn't agree. I don't know. Who knows what the discourse is in that?
We only have what he did.
That's our business, right?
You know what I mean?
What I can tell you is, I absolutely would call up Ijoma because I would love to hear her thoughts on the fact that he then told Lindy that actually it's racist to be monogamous. Because it is a Western construct and blah, 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 blah. And as a black man, he needs to da-da-da-da-da-da. And I was just like, oh, you little bitch. I was like, look at you. Because, I could tell you, we live in the Western world. Yes, there is like this manufactured dynamic called marriage and blah. Shut the fuck up. That is not what is in question right here.
So racism.
That was my favorite fucking part.
Racism is
And
in
she
a way.
oh yeah, no, yeah, that makes sense.
No.
This is what. Okay, wait. So he goes.
No fucking way.
He goes.
Of course he does. Nothing's gonna stop him.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. And so he left.
Oh God.
And then he started to go regularly, like once a month. And it got easier every time.
Regularly.
And she started to go to therapy, and she started to experiment with letting go. What if I picture what they're doing? What if I do think about her? What if I looked at her picture on Instagram and thought about her as a person who's not an adversary to me? Right? And the more I did that, it felt so much better than just being in denial and being scared and fearful of losing control. So she's doing so the person goes, you're doing this personal work and you decide to embark on this kind of self-discovery, right? The Great American Road Trip. So in her book, she describes this as well. She decides, I'm going to just go on a road trip. I'm going to rent a van and go on a road trip by myself to Florida. All of this, by the way, is screaming a bitch spiraling out. But
she is.
It's that you went to Florida. You know what I mean? If you had told me you went somewhere nice.
Well, because Florida is not a place you go; it's a place you end up.
What you're saying is
she was already in Florida.
She was already in Florida.
Totally.
Yeah. So.
Whoa.
What's this?
This fat white woman. He is. Yeah.
So Martin asked a question that I was like, oh, this is good. Was this something that Lindy, of 5 years prior, would ever conceive of herself doing? But then I realized that she was talking about the drive.
Yeah.
I was like, no. Lindy, 5 years prior, was desperate for Ahem to do activities with her, and I would have been scared to leave him home alone. Like, he's going to fall in love with someone else while I'm gone, but I didn't care. But that's because y'all never addressed the polyamory part. You never properly addressed it, and that's okay. But that actually doesn't give him permission. Like, again, if he had just told her, I don't even care how, I'm going right now. So we're going to have it. You have to give her the chance to make a decision before the betrayal happens. That's always my thing. Or leave the relationship. Don't do that to a person. But now she's on a journey of self-discovery, which I wish didn't require self-destruction.
Yeah.
First. And not even self-destruction. Like, why? What did we say yesterday about how the documentation of one's demise? Like, discovery doesn't have to come with the destruction of you or from the worst places ever. Like, it can also come from fucking love.
Why are you, Lindy, internalizing and trying to figure out stuff on your end? Shit that doesn't really have anything to do with this isn't your shit.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm feeling open and light and I'm on the road, and it kind of felt true to me. And I was like, oh, and that doesn't mean you have to be in a relationship with other people or whatever, but you should be in a relationship with yourself for sure. So Martin's like, what's your contact with Ahem when you're on the road? Contact is sporadic but intense, but a kind of pivotal thing happened right before I left. So once I go through this part, then we can wrap it, because I'm going to go into quick details, because I find this part so fascinating. Okay. But a kind of pivotal thing happened right before I left, where I was like, what does Roya think about me? And he was like, well, she has a crush on you. And I was like, excuse me? And Martin's like, okay, and let's just say there's nothing more electric than finding out someone has a crush on you. How did that make you feel, Westo? It was very powerful. I was immediately like, oh, I like her a lot more all of a sudden. She had just been this big cloud of mystery and suspicion. And I was like, how do I know that she's not trying to get rid of me so that you guys can be together? And she's not out there thinking this vile stuff that is happening in my head. She's out there thinking, oh, Lindy's beautiful and she seems so smart and interesting. I would love to get to know Lindy. And I'm processing my changing feelings about Roya while I'm on this road trip. And I think I started to feel so soothed by that feeling of safety. What gave her safety?
This nigga is terrorizing this fat white lady.
The thing that gave her safety was the idea that Roya might be attracted to her also. And so this, I'm seeing all the misogynist internalization around being a fat girl, around being undesirable. That is both part of being a fat girl, but also part of just being a woman. And all these things. And what made her feel safe, Ahem didn't do that, right?
Correct.
Her husband, didn't make her feel safe. What made her feel safe was the idea that Roya might also be attracted to her. And to me, I'm like, first of all, the fact that she's like naming these things, I'm like, it's what I actually love about Lena Dunham and her work and her person. Like, she gets a lot of flack for it, but she's honestly like a wonderful human being. But there's no filter. It's all the, this dialogue. And I appreciate that with them. It can be challenging too, because then you're getting all the contradictions and you're getting, these are things that people would typically hide. And so I can't but appreciate this, even as I go, but Lindy.
Well, I think what it is, so what you sort of are drawn to, I've noticed, is other external processors. So a lot of what this sounds like to me is she's like maybe confronting this publicly for the first time and being like, well, yeah, for me it was mostly this. And you know what I realized? It's this. Like, it's a lot of in the moment, obviously talking about her experience, but also adding to that in retrospect too, because she's processing.
Yes.
And the problem with that is we're hearing you processing.
So they fuck.
Roya and
they fuck. They have. They end up going on a date.
Yes.
I love when the laptop goes. You're free. They end up going. So Lindy goes on a date, and she goes, and she mentions several times how small Roya is.
Okay.
Right. So like, and so some guy like bumps her in the bar, and this is like the first time they're hanging out. So I don't know that they were like I think they were like, is this a date? Is this not a date?
Right. Okay.
With both of them really open to the possibility. Some guy bumps her in a bar, and Lindy goes like names like in her writing, but also in these interviews, like, hey, and she said, I felt so protected for like my woman, and I was like, interesting. So they have sex, and then like she feels good and more safe because her desirability for this woman, she didn't want to get zammied, right? And like,
right.
Why don't we talk about, you know what I mean? It's an Audrey Lorde reference, but basically it was two, and then there was three, and then one of you, the originals, gets bumped out so that those two could be together. So like, I get it. You don't want to get zammied, but it's the why you were afraid of getting zammied. I think like Roya, I can't tell what that girl is, but Roya ain't a white name. She definitely looks like Middle Eastern, Arabic. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like she's trending that way, and I'm like, even though it's unnamed, it very clearly there's a clear dynamic there to me that is race too, because you're like, well, they have so much more in common, right? They're not the same, but they, and they're both thin,
right,
and they're both like more conventionally attractive. Lindy is beautiful,
but
there's always going to be some fucking assholes being like, pig, da 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 da.
Totally.
They say that to beautiful women. Right. They say that to women who are conventionally thin and, know, all the standards, and still, because that's what they do.
Yeah.
So this is what's fascinating. So now they're all in a relationship.
Okay, the three. Okay, so then now they're essentially in a throuple.
Correct.
Okay.
But what is not clear is whether or not that, like, it's, and I'm going to say not clear, I mean like a question mark, a huge question mark that every woman who believes in Lindy, and also just who is a thinking person that cares about this work, Lindy's work and her writing, and also, feminism, was just like, are y'all even still fucking? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what is it? Like, you're not, there was so much emphasis on what created the dynamic, and there's no insight into what the dynamic actually
is.
And what I know is that Aham fucking won the day.
Totally.
He won the day.
And by the way, through sheer willpower.
Yes. This is what I found interesting. Aham was described as a brilliant artist. Right? The majority of Lindy's, and this is what concerns me, not just, it wasn't like the interview is like whatever. I mean, in like a lot of writing, and then in excerpts from the book. Because a few people have written about this. Ashley Ray has been talking about it a lot. Cartoons Hate Her as a Substack, and she has a great article. I haven't read the Tyler one, but I'm like, we don't need like academic level discourse for this.
I don't think so.
Like literally, I was almost going to read it, and I was just like, this is so it's just so not necessary. It's really fucking simple. Like, people have questions because you did not consensually enter a polyamorous dynamic, and it could become that. Yeah. Right. It can become that, but reveal. Right. If it did, because you kind of owe it to people now to explain, because it's a lot of I did my self-work. I became the
Right.
bigger person. I
Right.
became less petty. But everything that she says about Roya is descriptive about her looks. And you are a feminist woman. You didn't describe Roya as brilliant. You
I
didn't describe her
know.
as
I guess we don't know
highly
anything about
intelligent.
her.
No, we don't. We just know that
Yeah.
she's a goth or something. That we
Yeah.
know what her job is, and we know that she's
tiny.
small.
Yeah.
She's really small. And over and over again,
yikes.
every time that Roya gets brought up, she is brought up around her size.
Yeah.
She's brought up around her smallness. She's brought up as a bird.
Yeah.
Which in a way,
Mm.
in a weird way, because I like to hear the unsaid. If I'm constantly describing people as large, it's because I'm small.
Yeah.
Right. The reason why, like, what I make jokes all the time. I'm a little guy, right? I'm a little guy. But like, you don't hear me talking about how tall, like, oh, you're, you know, like, in a way where I'm, you know, every time I see a photo, I'm like, who's that little guy?
Yeah, totally.
That's not me.
Yeah.
I'm bigger than that. I'm looking in your eye. And if you are north of 6'5", I'm not looking at you at all. That is so disrespectful to me. I'm not craning nothing. I'll talk to your navel the entire night.
Oh.
Right. But that's the thing. In a way, I'm like, do you know that you're insinuating how large you are too by constantly describing her as small, 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 small,
interesting.
Small. That's what I hear. I don't hear Roy is small. I hear I'm big.
I'm big.
Because that's what's actually being said. When there's a fixation on something about somebody else, you are avoiding something. So anytime I have to write, anytime I got to write, and it's a hard thing I have to write, which is always the book, I find my brain wandering to petty grievances.
Yeah.
And I want to fix, my brain wants to lock in on something that I can control.
Right.
And it keeps coming up, and it could be the stupidest thing. Like maybe, I don't know, like I knocked over a glass and then you were sharp. That's never happened. You get what I'm saying? Something small and you don't even remember it. I would normally it wouldn't be a memory.
Right.
But because I don't want to confront this thing, my brain keeps thinking on that thing. And that's the best, that's always the way, that's the clearest way. I'm like, oh, I'm avoiding something. And every time my brain goes, I'm like, oh, you're avoiding it. And it just eventually it stops. Like probably the third or fourth time. You just have to say it. You have to name it. You have to name it.
Oh, okay.
Because when you say it, it's like, it's ridiculous to continue.
Whoa.
The fixation on, and like, there's just not enough on Aham.
Okay.
And his responsibility to you as a human being that loves you.
Which, by the way, we do need to actually call out because they became a throuple against her will, by the way.
Remember? And like, by the way, and this is another thing too. She says, she doesn't want a boyfriend. Aham has actually been like urging of it, but I know niggas and I know a big part of it. Like, okay. So this is why I think that like he's played it. Like, cause remember when I don't know, I kind of, when I took the T, I kind of got like the black card. You know what I mean? Like I kind of got like, it was almost like I got to do this and like reveal the pea brains inside of my favorite dudes. But they don't hide things from me in the way that they don't hide what they are. I don't know what's going on. It's like, because I think it's partly because they're honest.
Right.
Because of this. But there's nothing happening for either of us here. And so they're like, oh, girl? Maybe. But like a boy. So I can, what? Okay, so this is
exactly what you mean.
So let me tell you. Okay, so so Zara and I were talking about relationships, and we're having a back and forth, and I said, well, it's a lot easier for me anyway. And I thought that was like obvious, but she goes, in what way? Like, and I said, really? And she's like, no, I know what you mean, but I want you to like, she's like, I feel like there's something that I need to hear. And I was like, okay. I was like, so basically, I was like, part of the reason why men can be so frivolous, and they are, and it's like, I see it as their failure, obviously, is because so many women, in fact, every woman is essentially a value add into your life. Like men are not value adds into women's lives.
I agree.
Like I enjoy them because they don't take anything from me.
Right.
We actually enjoy their time, which is why men enjoy the company of other men.
Right.
It's like, but when it comes to women, the exchange isn't equivalent ever. Women are always a value add. And it is actually a really well-known data point that men reduce the quality of life for women substantially, economically, medically, physiologically, spiritually, emotionally.
Yes, T.
And so I said, she's like, yeah, but I'm great. And I said, no. I was like, of course you are. I was like, but I want to ask you something. I was like, and I'm just saying this so that you understand what that mentality is, right? Can you name some of the things to me that you think are special, right? That you do, because you're you're special. There's no doubt about it. You know, she's beautiful. She can dress. She dresses beautifully. Obviously, my main thing was the brilliance. You know what I mean? The brilliance, all the other stuff.
You're horny for brilliance.
I really am.
Yeah.
You know, but she was thick at the time too, and all these other things, and you know, but you know, so she started naming things, and that were all great. You know how smart she is. You know how we'd sit back and we'd write things together, or
cool.
You know, just cipher, because I'd help her out with stuff. And, you know, she'd help me out with stuff. Fine and all that. Anyway, but then she starts describing, you know, all these skills, right? That she can cook. You know, that she's exceptional at making money, and, you know, if required to, and she's well versed in art and all these things. And we were able to get really into it. And I said, fantastic. I said to her, you just described almost every woman I've ever met.
Whoa.
And she goes, what the fuck? And I go, and she goes, hold on, I need a second. Because it had never occurred to her that, like, yes, most women are of quality, not because she wasn't thinking that women weren't that, but but that part of the reason why she was viewed as so disposable, because it's like, my self-esteem, her self-esteem was fantastic. Right. My self-esteem, but then it's what the world thinks of you. And those two things are not the same.
Yeah.
Right. What you think of you and what the world think of you are not the same. So of course, like, you should, like, she comes in, and, you know, with part of what I love, and what I loved and what I love about her is, like, she is brazen, and, you know, and can be demure. She's bold and can be, you know, quiet, and like whatever energy she feels like. But the truth is, most women I've ever met are fantastic.
Yeah, same.
You know? Yeah. And that's not true about men.
I would agree with my whole anus.
So I said, the last thing I said was, exactly. So imagine how easy it is, how much easier it is for me to just jump into a relationship with even a random woman.
Oh.
And how well that would probably turn out.
In this case,
she was like, what the fuck? Yeah. And that's the thing that makes me really grossed out about this because I'm like, I know what's in your, I know, you know.
Yeah. And the
like,
fact that she
can't leave you.
Yeah. The fact that she hasn't.
That's why you could gamble with her.
Totally.
Because you know what's happening. And look, it's not spoken, but like, it's not spoken aloud. And by the way, I'm a huge proponent of like villages and many people, but the other thing that I'm not, and it might be in our book, and I you know, I'm not there.
I mean, I can't read.
But but like, you wanted a baby. And so a thing that's often unspoken of, and like, I know several women who have done this, they have stayed in horrible relationships because the idea of going through this again was
this what the fuck you were pointing at earlier? Yeah.
And it's just easier to just like be like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this. But then you're also terrified that you're going to be alone.
Totally. Yeah.
And that's why babies become a trap. And they are also an economic strain massively because of the world that we live in. And that's more control for him. And so I'm like, it's hard for me I don't want to diminish the work that she's done on herself, or like, and again, it's very possible that it has become a consensual polyamorous.
Sure.
dynamic. I just don't see how.
I mean,
I don't see how this is not a betrayal of some of the maybe not, you know what, not a betrayal. That's not fair. I think that this is an affirmation of everything that she was afraid happens to women. And we watched one of the most bold, bright stars of the millennial feminist generation fall. Yeah. And doesn't see that she fell. Yeah. And it's not the problem that you fell. It's the problem of that you're explaining it to us. You don't need to explain it. When you explain it, it's not done. It's not resolved.
No.
You say the things, and you're not saying the things, you're explaining things. Yeah, we're in a polyamorous relationship. Well, honestly, it was shit. Like he cheated on me
Yeah.
and whatever, but it's a lot of
Yeah.
protectionism of him.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
protecting you?
Yeah.
And that's been my number
That's
one
exactly
issue. It's like that's what I mean when I say
Yeah.
alpha shit, because I'm not it's not Andrew Tate nonsense. I believe I actually like the idea that and not this is not for everybody. And some people want a relationship where it's like you protect and I protect and I protect.
Right.
I protect.
Right.
I pay for the things, right?
Yeah.
Not because I have control over you. Oh, the women I end up in relationships with cannot be controlled.
Right.
I don't want to. I am I'm the guy that's picking you and your girls up at 3 a.m.
Yes.
And I love it. I love it. I'm the guy that like, there's my card for you and the girls out. I like to have, resources when I'm in a relationship for that reason. And I've never had a lot.
Right.
But, I've had more at certain points in my life than I thought I ever would. You like men. And so in a different way than I like them. I can enjoy men. Do you enjoy men?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's
no, I don't fucking enjoy.
I really I have so much fun, and it's because they can't take anything from me. Right. And it sucks.
Right.
That really sucks. But I think also then they're also not seeking to take anything from me.
Well, I mean, what are you
because
bragging?
what's not spoken, and I have so many questions for you, but what's not spoken about again is that men view women as recreational.
Correct.
And
yes.
And I think that's what's I've never heard that properly articulated, but in all of the time I've spent with men, whether it was in the boxing clubs, whether it's the comedy clubs, the clubs, the strip clubs, wherever we end up.
Yeah. They want a human sex doll.
It's more. It's
Is it? I might be reductive.
It's a sex doll, but that talks, but not talks back.
Got it.
That listens and that cares about them. This is my general theory about men. They have developed an almost sexual relationship, certainly a romantic one, but almost sexual relationship to their pain. And so anytime that they're around women, it's like, see what I've been through, see how hard I'm working, see how good I am. And
gross.
And then they hate the women that they're with because she is constantly responding to their pain. And then like, you never see me. You don't respect me. You don't know me. You don't know you.
Yeah.
You are like, that's when you want a mom. You want somebody. And then one of the things that actually pisses me off more than anything is the constant browbeating. And I get it. I'm inexhaustive. I can fight. I love fighting.
You do like to
fight. I don't fight people I love. I don't fight people I love. If you say, "Hey, you hurt me at the table," I say, "I'm so sorry. I didn't know."
Well, no. Last time I said that, you said, "Deal with it, faggot."
Oh, yes, I definitely said that. Yeah. I'm gonna beat you after this.
I knew it, and this is one of the daily beatings, and y'all don't know at home what happened. It's just like all you do is beat me. I'm sorry, but this is right. This is such an important conversation. I'm gonna be honest. I talk at my straight male friends about this because it's really a warning. I'm like, if any of you exhibit this behavior, I will beat your ass.
Yeah.
But it is transactional. Well, one-way transaction really between straight men and straight women, because I don't think they actually care about the human person inside of the woman's body.
Well, they don't see.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I think is really hard for people to wrap their heads around. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's anecdotal evidence, but they genuinely don't, because for men, there's a little bit of fear there, and it forces them to be aware. There's, the common refrain anytime a woman is like, hey, I don't want to get raped in the middle of the night, so I don't take night strolls. Right. They're like, well, I got punched in the face by Joey when I was 8. Right. And so it's who can hurt me.
Right.
That's what's valuable. But it's not even like, I don't even know, because I don't want to scare the hoes more than I already do, just by my personality. But I don't know how to explain that they don't see you as a person. And I want to say that there are certain questions you can ask to assess
I think that.
Okay,
Give the girlies a little
because you
rule
can actually figure it out really, really quickly.
book. Okay, okay.
And it's not that they can't. It's that if you actually nip it, they do. Because what happens with every relationship, straight man, straight woman, where he turns into a doormat,
right,
by constantly browbeating, constantly this, constantly that. They go for what? The high bitch, who the business, and the who has the big life, and
right.
Because all the work that she put into you, you can now leverage over there for a woman you actually respect. Because as much as they want to dominate and constantly browbeat, because they do, and again, it's not simply, oh, that's what they're seeking to do. It's partly how they communicate,
right,
and how women respond to that communication, which I do think is a skills issue for women. That's not misogyny. You are sometimes a pussy, and you have got to fucking be okay with nobody liking you. It's a misogynist world. They probably don't anyway.
Yeah.
And there's something that happens where you just want in.
Yeah.
And
what give me the cheat codes.
Okay,
what
one
are
of the questions, and because men love to talk, they all think they're philosophers. I like beefcake Plato's, right? So I know.
Right.
One of the number one questions that you can ask, and like be super casual about it, is like, who are your favorite thinkers? If you don't hear a woman,
run.
Yeah. You can ask some of their favorite authors, but that's one of the number one tells that I've discovered.
Whoa.
Is like, because that means you don't think of women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me another one. Please tell me you have another one.
If you say something like, okay, so like, what was your last relationship about? Like, what was that like? If they don't talk about what I need to do, or what I did, or what I was like, right? Like, well, I just wasn't not a great place, and we didn't have a healthy dynamic. If it's she, if the sentence even starts with she, if the sentence even starts,
wait, this is good. This is good.
It usually is some measure of. So like, okay, well, you mentioned like you were in a relationship a year ago. Like,
wait, let's do role play. Let's role play. Okay, let's role play. Okay. I'm the perspective girly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in this, you are anyway.
You know what? This is what the beatings. Okay. So
Corey, you missed it.
Because I never see it coming. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what was your last relationship like?
Well, we were together for X amount of years, but it's not the context. There's space for context, but it's what happens in the activation part.
Whoa.
Right? Like, who's getting characterized as what?
Right.
Yeah. This person has done absolutely zero work. Doesn't think about her, resents her for still being alive, probably, because when the thing with men is like, they don't want you when they don't want you, but they also don't want anybody else to have you.
Totally. Yeah.
Because and that's only if they like you. A lot of the time, They just stop liking you as a person because they barely liked you to begin with. The thing is, so another question that you can ask is like, and they don't have to be so specific, but essentially, like, where do they spend their time? Like, where do they spend their time?
Whoa.
And like, who do they spend their time with?
Right.
Because what you're trying to gauge is who do they enjoy spending time with?
Correct.
If it's exclusively men, you're in for a fight. Because that's the majority of them.
Of course.
For whatever reason, straight women especially feel so threatened when there's another woman around. And actually, and of course there's all kinds of dynamics, but if it's the normal kind where you're not some tool in a game or some bullshit, I don't know what's straight. For fun.
Neither do I.
I'm just like, aren't you like, you're not even happy. We've all got to go clear.
Future.
What?
I just remember something.
What?
I'm going to give an anecdotal proof to what the fuck you're talking about, nigga.
Okay. I'm in. Ooh, look at.
Totally. Okay. So.
Yeah.
My friend Claire had a birthday party this last weekend, right?
Fantastic graphic designer.
Love her.
Yeah.
She's a diva. She's the only white woman that I let around me. She's really that bitch. She told her Mexican man, by the way, she met him when he was getting sober, so he was in transition. Okay. And he's an artist. They're both artists.
Fun to hear that word in different contexts. Mm-hmm.
Aha! And he obviously going through some things. I love him dearly now.
Right.
He actually called me today and I couldn't answer because I was obviously at work. I got to hit him up and tell him that I'm telling the story on the podcast. I'm sure he'll be thrilled. But he was in the LA art space, which is like overtly white. And she was like, I don't like that. You're a Mexican man. You need to be around people who look like you and think like you. Get up in there. And she told me and my best friend who's Mexican.
Yeah.
Speak to him in Spanish. No English around him. We need the reconnection of them roots. What's that about? She's a white bitch you need to be around because she's like, I don't like that. She's very like, that's not who you are. I don't like that.
Right.
Love her. She's favorite white bitch of the year. She had a party. Her neighbor was there. This young girl from New Orleans, cute little girly. She was like, hey, do you want to come to a birthday party for my cat tomorrow? Her cat was turning 1. And I said, that's fucking LA. That's very funny. Of course. And her cat's name is Radio.
Cute.
So the party was called Radio's First Rodeo. So it was like cowboy themed. Very cute. Very cute. I'm a fag. And I'm a cosplayer.
Please add
and
Gaga
crazy.
to the last.
Huh?
Please add Gaga to the name, so it's Radio Gaga.
Radio Gaga. You know what?
Which was also a threat, I guess.
Well, also,
Yes.
I'll be the only gay person here. Thank you very
Got it.
much.
Got
The
it.
hell's that about? But and I was like, sure, I'll go. I love a themed birthday party. Cute.
Yeah.
I show up because I'm a fag and a cosplayer and crazy. I'm like dressed up as a cowboy. I'm like on theme.
Yeah.
I get there. It's a backyard party. There's like 8 white people in the a white shirt and khakis. Not dressed up, standing around,
Okay.
just hanging out.
Boring.
I go to the grill to the person that I know,
Mm-hmm.
and I go, "Oh, hi!" And he looks at me. He goes, verbatim, "Oh, wow, you like went all out." I said, "Nigga, was
Because
the
you
theme?"
said hi? Oh, because of your got it. Yeah, there was a theme. There was intention that was put into it. Come on,
I said,
don't be a little bitch.
"Yeah, that's the theme." That's not even the craziest part.
Oh.
She organized games.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only one playing. My friend
So all the men, you're saying
and the women, white, straight people.
Oh, I didn't have that context. I couldn't understand what was happening. Now I get it because I'm just like, Mexicans get down.
No,
Like,
no,
yeah, fun.
no. It was a party full
When
of
you said
white, straight people.
I thought you was talking about cholos. Like
No,
they had the beaters on.
no,
and
these
the
fuckers.
Dickies
No,
and
the party
high
would have been way
socks.
better.
Okay, yeah.
No, white, straight people.
Oh yeah, no.
Were there.
There's one singular thing that you could say, but it could get contentious.
Great, I love that.
And it would require you to possibly lie.
Okay.
Or say it in whatever way that makes sense. But the trigger word is philosophy. If you mention to any man, and you're a woman, right? And so you're on a date, and you're read as a woman, I don't care, right?
Right.
If you mention that whether or not it doesn't care, that you study philosophy, that you have studied philosophy, that you spend a lot of time reading it or whatever, you mention Kant or Nietzsche or whatever,
right?
Watch what happens. He will either hate you instantly,
right,
or try to eviscerate anything that even though he's probably never read anything in his life. There's something about men hate women who are philosophical or who dare. I don't know what that actually surprised me so much to discover, and I learned it. I've observed it a number of times in comedy spaces. It's fascinating. There's something because to them they're like, well, they see Rogan as that, right? So
unfortunately,
they have no concept of what it is, and I don't know that they you can't read Locke and not study philosophy.
Right.
You can't read Locke and just understand what is being said.
Right.
Like you are lying if you do. Like every philosopher's work is informed by other philosophers' work. That's how it used to happen.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, you'd read Nietzsche, you'd read Sartre, you'd read Locke, you'd read Kant, you'd read, Heidegger. I'll just throw in there, and Hegel.
Mm-hmm.
And, women in particular, I think have led much discourse around Hegelian and theory in particular.
Yeah, it's all men talking.
Yeah. You know, there's something about it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter race. It doesn't matter a comedian, you think a nigga would have a sense of humor, right? A comedian, a lawyer, whatever it is, if they don't see that as intriguing and interesting, you probably should go. But that one is like, you might discover something you don't want to see really quick, because there's not like, they get threatened, and like, it's not like, oh, that's what they want to do. Inside that's something, I don't know what it is, but the idea of a thinking bitch like really fucks
Well,
with
because
them.
if she's thinking, she's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating. And like, I've met a bunch of dudes that honestly are so like game for like women, like just love women, have a good time with women, all this shit. And they're the happy ones. They're the happy ones.
Because they understand.
Yes. Because they're living. And they haven't been like, I think I said this before, but I know we got to wrap, you know, some reiteration is good.
I just want to confirm that we've moved on from my story. Okay. Oh, but it's okay. It's
but
okay.
wasn't it? It was.
Oh no, but it's okay.
There's more to the story.
It's okay.
I'm so curious.
So he beat me. He be moving on. He was like, this don't interest me. So next, I was like, oh, okay, well, shit. I mean, you know, I too am a human sex doll who talks and doesn't disagree. He over here talking about men not listening to women. Look at him.
I did.
Look.
Totally. You know what? Okay. We've had then one Tory dominant pop woke.
Yeah.
Now we've had one future dominant pop
totally.
woke. So our next, because we're still troubleshooting all of this.
Yeah. I think we can
So I think
pong.
then the next, because that's what we enjoy the most. So like,
yeah. And that was crazy. That was, I think we needed the entire time for that.
But we did.
That was crazy.
We did, but we might have to do something that we don't do, which is be a little bit more. We do it for everything else, but this is our fun place.
Yeah.
But we might have to do a little bit of prep. You guys, I mean,
I
don't
want to.
No,
I don't want to.
I don't want to bogart. Am I bogarting?
No, because I
also, I don't think you can be.
No.
Yeah, you actually. I was like, I said I don't want to bogart, and I thought, oh, you know, I got a decent memory.
Yeah.
I ran through every memory I have of you.
Why?
Because that's how my brain works.
That's spooky.
It's partly why
you don't sleep, you fucker. That's crazy.
It's also why it's so hard for me to, like, you've literally observed in real time someone be so unbelievably cruel to me for no reason.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I did not punish him at all.
Yes.
I didn't seek retribution. I didn't.
Even though I was like,
yeah. And it's because I just see every thing.
I see. Yeah.
I don't get to, it bothers me. I would love to sometimes. I don't get to just decide that this person is a monster who I want them to be, so that my feelings, I'm like, no, I don't get to, I'm not interested in that.
Right.
If you're in my life, I trust my decision.
Yeah.
And even if you change, or even if some conditions or something is revealed to me that I didn't know, I still trusted the person that you were, and I might trust you again, but I'm not going to make I'm not going to give, but I just can't give you more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to give you anything, which means I'm also not going to give you rage. It's actually a complete withdrawal. It's I'm not giving you anything else. Totally. And that's it. And it terrifies people, because what so many people want and don't know, it is punishment. It's actually has nothing to do with me. If you're being, and you know, I've experienced all kinds of wonderful things and cruel things, and it's always you.
Yeah.
I know what is me.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking mess. I know what is me. I know how I can impact people. And that's the other thing. I don't, for whatever reason, and you've observed this too, I don't know why, I have an outsized impact on people. And I don't know why.
I think we both know why, friend.
I don't, light skin?
No. First of all, you would have a negative effect on people with light skin. No, I think what it is, again, I think it's more of what I was saying earlier, is that, like, I think because you don't operate from a place of like overt emotion or places that aren't centered in abject reality, people always use you as their northern star. I think also people use you as their dark mirror. I think also people also use you as their father.
What did you say? Yes, I get the father thing a lot. And then you said something really good, which is that I activate people's insecurities.
Yes, because you're seeing people immediately. You're seeing them immediately.
Yes.
And I don't think people are used to being seen so fully, so like, and overtly, by the way, so immediate. And then you vocalize a lot because you're an external processor. So you're telling them about themselves in a way that they probably have not, are not, or haven't heard.
Yes, and only and it's like it's never random.
Right.
It's always in a, you know, I mean, I'll literally sit on things for months
Right.
until I feel like it is an appropriate time because I don't hold.
Oh, you wait for that last Lego piece and
Yeah.
go, well,
it now has become a
this.
pattern.
100%.
Right, but I don't
Yeah.
bring it up. Because
Right.
I just
It's not a weapon.
yes,
Yes.
people have bad days, but
Yeah.
if there's a accumulation of things that I'm noticing, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring it up at a time when we're not in conflict.
Correct.
I'm going to bring it up in a way that, in the best way that I think you can hear it and
Yeah.
receive it. That is really focused on our solutions moving
Right.
forward versus what you did.
And because you don't use it as a weapon, when someone's hearing so much about themselves in that way, I guess, you know, the immediate reaction is like, oh, you're attacking me. And you sort of
I've felt this in non-Black people especially.
100%.
Especially.
Yeah.
Where I'm really confused, and I thought that was what we do, and do you know what I mean? So it's less like, oh, this, and more like, oh, interesting. Like, oh, I just can't do anything. The way that I talk is I'm like, oh, that's interesting. You know, I actually, and we've had conversations like this. I actually see this as, you know, I'm affirming what you're feeling, but I'm just like, to me, based on some of the stories you shared, this makes sense that this would be the conclusion that you draw. But I don't think that's reflective of you as a person at all. It's often like that, but then it's like, yeah. And so I just stopped.
Which is, I mean, obviously it's a specific type of person who either has not dealt with stuff.
Yes. And it's not like, I'm done. I've stopped. It's like I care about relationships and everything else. I want relationships. I want community. I just have to figure out how to bring my emotions back into the fold because I think it will. Well, first of all, I think it's time.
Yeah.
Because I control my emotions. I don't experience them.
I've experienced that.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, that was you swallowing that, by the way.
I only control my emotions because from 16 and 17, like that's the thing.
Right.
And that's, to be perfectly frank, is what Lindy is doing. I think, oh my God, that's why it's so clear to, like, it feels like,
interesting. It feels familiar.
She's controlling her emotions rather than experiencing them. You know, I do therapy.
Right.
I do it really routinely. I talk about things that are happening. I can talk about how hard things are with my mom and everything else, but I'm not feeling it.
Right.
I don't want to.
Right.
It's too unwieldy. And so I have to do that for me. But you're right. That has nothing to do with everybody else. I think I got so tired. And you've seen so many people come in and out of people hating me for the things that they loved about me.
100%
to start. And
they can't put you in a nice little package.
Yeah. And it's like, the thing I have a lot of empathy for people though, is that I am inexhaustive. I will not stop. Even though I have nothing inside of me now I won't stop. I think there's an evolution. We can become comedians. If you want to become a comedian, you can do this. And that can be really hard. I think for people who want to settle down, not settle in their life, but like, I'm tired now. I've had enough, and you don't want to talk about ideas at 3 a.m, but I do.
But I think but I think there's a level of like, hey, I'm sleep. There's a communication element that I think, you know what I mean?
No. And so what ends up happening is I perform the need for myself, which is I talk to myself constantly.
You know, they say people who talk to themselves are like really smart.
And also insane.
Oh, I didn't know about that second part.
Isn't that the thing where if you talk to yourself, people say you crazy?
People say you're crazy.
Right.
But the scientific thing is,
I can't believe that you ended up helping me therapize or something.
Well, because again, we are very similar, Future. And I keep saying this because I keep finding more tiles in the mosaic that is our relationship, because I'm like, oh, I do that too. Because I'm like, so I'm really speaking to what I'm perceiving, but also like what I know to be true about me. Because I'm like, oh, that's just exactly what I've been told is happening to me. That's what I've been experiencing. Because what you do very well is that you identify something and locate it in something else to provide a bigger context and kind of zoom out, because it's not just a small thing. And I do that too when I'm talking to people about stuff. I'm like, well, maybe it's not even about that. Maybe we're looking at this wrong. Maybe it's about this thing. So you do that to people directly to them. And I think that freaks people out. I like it because I'm nosy.
Like
and I want to know, I'm like, okay, but what do you think that because I'm a thinker too.
Yeah. And I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I like thinking about it.
Yeah.
In my life, it's one of my favorite things to do.
Because but it's just one of the tenets of the road to closeness. It's just
true.
figuring each other out. That's what relationships are.
You know what? Fucking yeah. And I'm learning though. I'm learning how to be better because a certain producer that is in our circles.
Yes.
Like we had a conversation and it helped me understand something while we were having a back and forth. This is a person who's brilliant. And middle of the line, but emotionally Gen Z.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Millennial sensibilities. So well-read, cultured, but Gen Z emotion.
Right.
So they're younger. And they're much more self-obsessed. And these are things I've said, but not mean. I don't think I just don't. I don't think there are good things or bad things when it comes to where you're at. I think it's like this is how you're being experienced.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I just burped. I hope the mic didn't pick it up.
I'm
sorry.
dead.
Sorry.
No, because I did too, and I wondered the same thing.
Okay.
Remember when I was like, I have an air bubble.
But I think I agree with you. I agree with you.
As one sentence. And
go ahead. No, go ahead. No. Yeah.
She goes, I said, I don't think you see me as and she'd be fine with this, but I said, you don't see me as a full person. And she was like, what? No, I do. And again, what I'm not questioning is that you care about me.
Right.
I know you care about me.
Right.
But I said, you don't see me as a full person. And that's been my experience with almost everyone I've been with. And what do you mean? I said, okay, when the person was being unkind to me, when I was processing that with you, just, like I'm not sure why this is happening. I was like, you immediately went to defend him. Oh, but I said, no, that's not about that. That's okay. I'm asking, would you do that for me?
Work.
And to her credit, and I do value because most people are around in my life are very honest people. They might want to talk about something, but they're very, very honest people. And she was like, no, I wouldn't have. And I said, right, because I don't need defense. Right? I don't need protection. Right. I don't have the same kinds of emotional needs that everybody else has. I said, but I do. I just don't make it other people's responsibility. Yeah. And she was like, I feel like you don't see me too. And I said, and it's one of the things about being on your shit. And I might do it too well, which is because I'm so controlling, not because I'm noble. To be clear, is that when somebody says something and I know it's not correct, I know because I can remember everything, and because I know my fuck up could be 0.5. I've addressed it.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's going to be flowers or donuts or something. There's going to be a note or a card. There's going to be a text message acknowledgement. It doesn't matter.
Mind you, I've not gotten either.
Maybe you should be angry at me.
Oh, yeah. I guess I don't get angry at you much because I don't.
Because we actually get along really well.
But also, even if there is a point of contention,
we're
go
talking. Out. And we'll go out.
Yeah.
And we'll grab a drink.
Yeah.
And we'll grab some food.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Fine. So she goes, well, I just feel like you don't see me. And I said, that's not true.
Yeah.
I love seeing you. You don't want to be seen. And we had to leave it because there was truth in that. It's like getting a reflection back of yourself is very difficult work, because what I know is that I'm only ever 50% right. I love being right, but I'm only ever 50% right.
Yeah.
Because the other 50% is how I'm experienced. I can't.
Right, that's true.
Everybody in America is like, I'm a good person, I'm a great person, or I'm amazing. If you ask them if they're smart, they'll tell them they're smart. What's the experience of you? You're only 50% right.
Right.
You might be smart to you.
Right.
What is the collective consensus? Right.
Because I'm not a good person. I'm a fucking bitch. I don't give a fuck.
And I'm a fucking mess.
Yeah.
But I'm a mess because I won't. Everyone's, and I know I need to shut the fuck up at this point. But I've heard from so many people, you're handling your mom stuff so well. You're handling it so well. And I wish I knew to say, because I'm only having some breakthroughs now as this emotional person that honestly is so much younger than me.
Yeah.
Inside, I don't like when I tell you it's control, I understand and acknowledge my emotions, but I don't care about them.
Right.
I'm not interested. I'm interested in ideas. I want to move on. I want control. So having a screaming, ragey 16-year-old version of myself that is hungry,
Right.
deeply insecure, feels worthless, doesn't trust people. That person is now and is so funny and so fun, but terrified.
Yeah.
Terrified of it is so weird to have another voice in my head.
Yeah.
I have all the tools to deal with it, and I think with breathing room, the dust will settle because I think I will be funner. I think I remember being fun. I remember being happier.
Yeah.
When I was an emotional being, in addition to all the other things.
Right.
But I really am not. And when I let the emotions come out, it's always a mess. So I was like, probably because I repress them and they bubble over once in every few years. So yeah, when they said, you're handling this so well, I wanted to scream, I'm not handling it. I'm not handling it at all. There are no hands on it.
Totally.
I don't want it. I'm not touching it. Leave it. I compartmentalize so well that there's another voice in my head right now that I recognize is me, and it is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But
that's interesting. Well, then, and you don't have to, but like, what are some of the things that you're doing to sort of like console that? Like what are some of the things, like, do you, like, for me, and
it never occurred to me to do that.
Future, you know what?
I've just been letting it rage.
Yeah, well, sure, giving the space.
To be clear, ignoring it, not giving space. I'm like, I can't deal with this. This is a lot right now. But at least in acknowledging it, I've known more peace.
Yeah. Well, that's the first step, I think.
Yeah.
Because my inner voice screaming is like 7-year-old me.
Oh, interesting. So that is normal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mine is very much like, okay, cool. You know what? I wasn't allowed to be, to do, to say, as a child. So what I do is like, you know what? I'll see a thing, right? A doodad, a doohickey,
right,
or what have you. And I'll go, you know what? I don't need this thing. I'll probably use it a couple times and it'll sit somewhere. But you know what? I'm going to get that thing because I think that young me would look at old me and be like, but you want the thing. Have the thing.
Interesting.
So a lot of it is like, first of all, being not letting it break the bank because that can get away from you real quick. But but it's being like, who fucking cares? Do I want this obnoxious ice cream sundae? After working all day? Yeah, I'll just get it. No one dies. The child in me is like, okay, great. We can finally do the things that we were not allowed, while also giving space to be an adult. Like I'm still an adult human, but I'm like, you know what? Why would I say no the way I was told no to these things that are going to spark joy and be like a fun little moment?
Interesting.
That's how I say thank you to my smaller child. Be like, whoa, okay, you went through a whole bunch of stuff. I'm on the other side of that as much as I can be with thousands of dollars of therapy. But like, let's not forget that little fucking crying little fat boy. Like he's still up in there, and I love him because he was also funny and like inquisitive and like getting into hyperfixations all the time. Like I'm gonna allow myself, which is why I have a million hobbies, by the way.
I'm so curious about this. So when I mentioned to this person, you don't want to be seen, right? I was really clear. Like what the explanation was, you don't get to, because we don't get to decide and control the narrative,
right,
of how people experience you, and people want to do that,
right, consistently.
And we think always of this narrative, and it's like, no, actually, I'd like having only I'm only ever 50% right. But here's my question about your 50%. Why is the voice 7? Is it? Do you know what I mean? Is it? Did you keep it 7, or is it? And not like, okay, I want to make sure we're talking about like this. I'm not a psych person. Okay.
And I am.
Is an inner child also your emotional age? Or does that question make sense?
Yes, it does. So
are they separate things?
That makes that I immediately knew how to answer your question when you started talking, because I know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
When you were talking about 16-year-old you, I understood it as the moment where you made a conscious decision or subconscious decision to shut it off.
It was conscious.
So that was me. Because at 7, I was crying all this. I was a very emotional little gay boy.
Yeah.
So very early.
My little crybaby Corey.
Crying at,
all the criers
everything.
Train themselves to just stop.
I did that at 7.
I was like, you're not a crier. I've not seen you. Usually if you spend this much time with all the things we've been through, death and woes and all these other things. Those are crying conditions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I definitely do cry. It's very much like, okay, I feel weird in my body. Everything's like, I can feel it up here.
Yeah.
So I'll sit and I'll cry for like an hour and a half. I have like designated crying time because sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't know if I can do with this right now because I got to keep going. Because a lot of the time, a lot of what was happening at 7 for me was both parents were like, I live in a crazy household where it was like, emotion is weak. Stop it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, great. I won't have that. But then obviously growing up, it manifests in different ways. So dealing with the way that those manifested, talking to medical professionals and being like, oh, got it. I think emotions are good. I need to feel things for people and for myself and to be present and be here because most of that manifested as apathy in really big ways for me specifically.
Oh my God, this also could be really good for most men.
Hello.
Socialized as men.
Hello.
As men. Yeah.
Hello. So now as an adult, I'm like, you know what? The things that would have made me sad, I still let make me sad, obviously, because I'm a human person. But I allow myself to be like, okay, cool. I think that feeling emotion is gay. So because I've been socialized that way. That's what I've been told the entire. Look at you. Look, see. But I also am like, okay, but I think that emotion is good. I need to feel things because at the end of the day, if I don't start feeling things, then I'm not. In my opinion, a human person because emotion and feelings is what I think ties us to the mortal realm.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And that unbridledness terrified me because adults terrified me.
And with knowing as much as I do about your childhood, you didn't have the space to do it. Everybody was probably that makes sense.
Yeah, I know.
And adults, especially with like foster kids, like adults are so untrustworthy at a young age.
Yeah.
You never really grow out of that unless you do really specific work to like learn to like move past that, because a lot of like foster kids I know are so uniquely untrusting of adults. They're so hyper
vigilant,
solo, hyper independent, hyper independent.
Oh,
yeah, because you're like, well, I got me. Yeah. We're similar, bitch.
Do you receive love well?
Now I do.
Yes.
Now I do. I have not, and I remember I marked on a day in my calendar. I was comfortable in my body saying I love you to friends and family. February 7th, 2021. That's when I started therapy in 2017.
Yeah.
And by that time, I was like, because I had been saying it, but it was 2021 when I was like, oh, saying it doesn't make me feel weird inside. There's not an uncomfortable like feeling. Because my parents didn't say I love you. I forced my dad to say it in adulthood.
Come, Sula. Sula's just like, okay, like more me now.
Oh my God, Sula.
What about me?
Sorry, Sula. We have been actually yapping for a while. Sorry, Sula.
But no, this was one of the, because you know what's interesting, to the point, to like, this is to me where the power lies in Lindy's work, which is in honesty, and it actually created the conditions where we have been talking more vulnerably. And what I do know is I hate vulnerability. I did
too. Are you kidding me?
I cannot fucking deal with it. The idea of it.
Does it give you that weird queasiness in your stomach?
I feel sick.
Absolutely.
It stresses me out, and I don't want to be in a relationship with that again.
Same.
Yeah. So I don't know when we're gonna figure it out. I know that a show's being made about it and how I'm probably going to be single for the rest of my life.
I don't think so. I think, I think, first of all, and it's not, I think it's going, your biggest issue going to be finding somebody who's like tough skin, by the way. You're going to need God's strongest soldier.
You know what's so funny? They don't.
Oh.
They don't. I'm really so good. Because I'm a service dog. And
right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, interesting.
And I would like to be in a relationship one day. Every relationship I've been in, and they've all with remarkable people.
Right.
Most. But
no.
It was always because somebody liked me
Yeah.
and was interested
Oh,
in me.
interesting.
I've never liked somebody because I just like I thought I was asexual all throughout high school.
I did
and
too.
yeah, right. And because I just didn't have
That's
any desire.
interesting. We are alike
Yeah,
a lot.
and I still struggle with desire.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
because that's connected to emotion.
Yeah.
And to me, desire is painful because want is painful. And
painful.
I had a friend who was older than me, who was kind of like big bro to me, who I think hasn't experienced success in a way where it can lend to success, and especially industry success. It either freezes you and you're neurotic and weird and self-obsessed, as in like, oh, I might have been a shitty person, but everything I was is how I got these things, so I'm going to keep doing these things. And now that's my culture, and that's a lot of people. Because your selfishness becomes eccentricity when you do well. But there's a smaller subset of people where there's a benevolence there, especially when they come from nothing. Right. Where they're just like, hey, this is, so I'm talking about it. I'm saying, I'm trying to, because the emotional side is messy and extremely problematic and all the other things, but so funny. And, I think actually comedy has been helped, but I said, I'm at a place now where it's go time, and I don't have the well of desire, but I'm clear about what I want. And in knowing that, it actually like, it hurts. Yeah. Like, what you mean? And I said, no, it like hurts. Like, the want is back. And she goes, huh. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, she totally gets it. She goes, want isn't supposed to be painful.
Diva.
And I was like, wait, what? And I'm thinking, you don't understand. No, you don't get what I'm saying. Right. I'm like, no, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the process of actualizing it, making it up. She's like, yeah, that's really hard. Like the getting after it is really hard. Right. Right. She's like, but the want is supposed to be joyful. Yeah. Whoa. And the want is supposed to be where your imagination lives, and like where you feel free. Yeah. And I was like, that is insane. That's insane. But like imagine like you're normal with everybody else. You're talking, you're having a good time, you're fully present. But then there's a part of your brain that occasionally is like, that's insane. But you're still working on it. I'm on the plane and I'm like, that's insane. And that's insane. But I've been sitting with that, and I was like, I don't know. I've never experienced this, but I would like to try to make it true. I'd like to figure out how to feel one. And I know I'm talking to our own. I know we're talking to our types. 100%. And I think when you were been told, whether implicitly or explicitly, whether it was intended to or not, and however many forms and ways, if you have been told that you're worthless, want is painful. Yeah. Want is painful because somebody like you should never want something. Right. You're never going to get it. You're not enough. Right. Why should you have nice things? And I don't, if you ask me if that's how I think, I'm like, absolutely not. Right. But Lindy herself said, I'm overconfident. She said, I have, high self-esteem. I have insanely high self-esteem and very low self-esteem. And that's everybody. That's everybody. But totally. It's interesting because I am so confident, or whatever the words are. I can walk into any place in this town that's really mean to people, and I fit. Yeah. I like, it's seamless. I don't got to change what I wear. I can walk in the holiest shit, which is what people are wearing in LA anyway, the rich ones. I'm just like vintage, fucking l'enfant, like we don't know. You know what I mean? $30 or 3,000. We don't know. $30 or 3,000. You know what I mean? The $30 looks like 3K on me. Totally. But I can't experience want without wanting to die. Yeah. Weird, right? So I guess she's right. Yeah. But one thing I am appreciative of, actually, now that we're being a little softer with about her work, I'm being a little softer. I was mostly just so shocked. Is like, maybe this is the sincerity we need more of. I think so. Yeah. I think so. Would you classify, or good final thoughts, would you classify that as sincerity though, or as controlling a narrative? Because I see both, but I definitely think in relation to Aham in particular, I do feel like it's not. I feel like it's she's trying to demonstrate damage control. I think it's because I can believe that this man strong-armed her into a throuple
and that she was like, oh, I actually have sexual chemistry with this girl and I actually like her, and this isn't so bad.
Yeah.
But also, it could be a little bit of the Stockholm syndrome of like, well, I'm in love with this man and this is what he's doing. Because, mind you, he asked no permission or give her no choice.
No,
he just
and
did
the
it.
way that she's writing now is so not real to me. Like,
no, it glossed over all of her sort of like all the stuff that was an
it glossed
issue
over her
beforehand.
feminism. It glossed over her feminism.
Yes.
And I don't understand that. And you know what?
This is you told me something earlier that this would really connect to something that we've talked about, and it like immediately did. And now that I'm playing it back over in my head, I have to scream, because it's like literally. Anyway, yeah. That's crazy.
But the thing that I cannot get over, and I need this is why we need to normalize race, because I'm like, all you white bitches writing these fantastic think pieces need to talk about the fact that he said that the reason monogamy is fucked up and I'm going to do everything I have to do is because it is a white construct. And like, he literally used his biracial identity to strong arm this bitch into fucking another bitch. Like, it's
Can I ask
crazy.
A question? I want to ask a potential controversial question.
Hit me.
I'm not familiar with this man and his sister and their whole family.
Right.
Their parents, biracial, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which one of the parents is black? You can assume.
You know.
Which parent is black?
You know.
And you know, Future, and you did that on purpose. You buried the lead, because I would have told you if a biracial with a fucking white mom was running around being crazy, that's the reason. It stems from whatever a biracial person is running around being crazy, their mom is white.
A lot of the time.
It's so annoying. It's like, okay, not to say that this is what this stems from. I'm just saying that would have definitely.
We're not normal about race, and they're not normal about race in the house. And then and then your parents generally have not been great.
Right. Yes, historically.
Yes. Famously. And then you add a racial dynamic for which no one has any language for. Like, this is why I love language. It frees. Like, it is only because I can see it in her language that I feel that like. That Lindy is like she's intellectualized herself into liking something, and you can like it now.
Sure.
But it is always good to examine why. You know what I mean?
And be like, hey, my man,
know that you can change.
It's just also.
That's why I hate the preference bullshit. It's nonsense.
That's the thing. So this is what I mean, because I like to believe. I believe in being fair. I'm not. I like to believe it, but. That's why I said I can believe that this started out as like this man just doing what he wanted to do regardless of what she said or thought. That she can't. She's like, okay, I do like this girl
and she's
too,
like, I'm gonna eat, pray, love this shit.
You know what I mean? But also,
I'm gonna love myself. But it's like, bitch.
You could also just be like, yes, I ended up liking the girl and this was fine. The throuple was fine. But this nigga really played in my face like that. That's okay.
Like, he did. And honestly, let us beat on him a little bit for you. Like, we will for you.
Also,
because we still fuck with you.
It's like, girl, you didn't got.
You know
like,
what?
It's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm changing my tune in that, like, he might have thought that she owned the shit.
Right.
Not so much. But the fact that she put it out, it is like, I miss woman vulnerability. They have been so not allowed to be people in public.
Yeah.
And I'm glad for the think pieces. They're balanced.
Sure.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, bitch. Well, actually, no, it is like that.
It is like that.
It's like, I love you, bitch. What are you doing?
But
it's like that.
And that can. And
I don't know why I turned into Aziz. I'm sorry.
No, that. But then to your point, I do agree, because like, I love being critical of people who put their business online for us to see. Like, that's my favorite thing. But like, at the end of the day, girly pop, you want from us. But justice for Lindy, because that man played in your face. He did. Justice for Lindy. That's the title. Justice for Lindy. Justice for Lindy. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Pop Woke. Please address any questions, comments, concerns to info@darkwoke.com, and we may read it aloud on the show. Thank you so much for the support, and as always, we will see you in the next one. Peace.